Welcome to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. Hair-raising, spine-tingling evidence covering the full supernatural spectrum. UFOs, cryptozoology, paranormal encounters. Have an experience to share? Call now, 865-264-0448. That's 865-264-0448. And now, here's your host, Stephen Brown, with fellow ETGS members, Steve Wiseman, Andrea Brown, and Jesse Arms. Welcome to Paratalk.
All right, guys, it's Steven, and you're listening to Paratalk, a new perspective in paranormal talk radio. To my right, I've got my buddy, my friend, my brother from another mother, Mr. Steve Wiseman.
What's up?
How's it going, buddy?
What's happening?
Are you excited to be here?
I am. I'm always excited to be here.
Good. And to your right, we have
An empty chair.
an empty chair.
We love you, Jesse.
We're missing our sweet tea this week. And to that chair's right arm, we have my beautiful, loving wife, Miss Andrea.
Hello, everyone.
How
Welcome.
are you?
Lovely.
Okay, that was probably the cheesiest intro ever.
That was.
That was.
Yeah, but it wasn't the normal.
It wasn't.
I was so
Was it
tired of that.
paranormal?
It was paranormal. You got a funny taste in your mouth?
Yeah, I think I threw up a little bit.
You don't like that much cheese, do you?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, shit. Man, I'll tell you what, though. Let me just say this. I'm freaking getting excited, man. We're 2 months out from our investigation at the haunted Hales Bar Dam.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. That is
Cannot
so
wait.
Yeah.
exciting. We've got so much work to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we're 2 months out from our event investigation. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sure
Right.
between next weekend you and I will be there.
Right. Supporting the guys from Gateway
Yeah.
Paranormal.
Yep. And I'm sure we'll be there a couple times between now and then.
Oh, yeah.
Just because we're freaking addicted to the place.
Well, and I've got to have another trip before.
Damn rehab. Here I come again.
Well-
Stupid addiction.
I posted on Facebook earlier today.
What?
You?
Yeah, me.
Oh.
Damn.
He's like technologically savvy.
He's a guru.
That's right.
Guru. You're a guru.
I knew those braces were going to give her problems.
Shut up. They're bothering me today. If I start slurring, you'll know why.
Yeah.
Probably from all that damn dip.
That was so much dip.
So much shit. So little time. But, I posted on Facebook earlier today that we had some information coming up where Paratalk listeners are going to get a good deal at a popular ghost hunting store.
Yes.
And you guys just keep listening because I'm not giving it away yet.
Oh, I can't wait.
So exciting.
It's exciting. I mean,
The anticipation is killing me.
yeah.
I know who it is.
Yeah, me too.
Me
It is
too.
really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Super excited.
It is. Not going to tell you.
Watch yourself.
but yeah. I don't think she meant literally.
Not literally.
Oh, not literally. Damn right, I like that, though.
Well, we have the big mirror behind
There
you.
is a big mirror.
So you
I
can
don't
watch
have eyes in
yourself.
the back of my head like my mother.
Oh,
That's true.
yeah.
All
It's
mothers
only,
do.
It's only women that have that. Did you see that? Oh,
I can tell you
son of a
exactly
bitch.
what's behind my head.
What?
Shelves.
Ooh.
No, what's exactly behind your head, though? Come on.
That would be
No.
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 No, the one right behind me actually has like books and comic books.
No, I'm talking about the thing directly behind.
The guitar?
Yes. Good job.
I knew that.
That's scary.
Yeah. See, it's just a woman thing. I'm here to tell
It
you.
is.
All right. Well, we have a super cool guest tonight.
Heck
that
yeah.
I'm super excited
Absolutely.
about.
Our first one of this specialty.
Yeah, this gift.
Yes.
Yeah. Tonight we have.
Is it Christmas?
It is.
It's
Christmas
Christmas
on
in May.
Paratalk. Christmas on Paratalk.
I like that.
Yeah.
Para-Christmas.
Christmas.
Ooh, I just had a really good idea. We'll have to discuss this afterwards.
To be continued.
Ooh. Because I'm thinking it's going to be really cool.
Meanwhile, in the Para Cave. But
I just need to
But
write
yeah.
it down so I don't forget.
Yeah, you better do that. But yeah, we have Marie Gibbs Russell joining us tonight. She is a medium,
Also known as Buffy.
also known as Buffy. I think Buffy is her actual real name, I think. And she goes by oh, that's a good idea. Okay, Andrea
Yeah.
just wrote the idea down and showed it to
Genius.
us. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well,
Hey.
It was good, Steve.
What's-
It was a good
I didn't
idea.
say it wasn't. She said genius.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you going to tell her that it's not genius?
I just did.
there you go. There you go.
Because
I know where you're sleeping tonight, man.
yeah. But
On my sofa.
yeah.
That's my spot.
Get out of my spot. You're in my spot.
You're sleeping in Waverly's spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you know, Waverly's our cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And named after Waverly Hills.
Of course.
Yeah. But
He's not a demon.
really,
No. He is precious.
When he's sleeping.
Which is a lot. He's a cat. He sleeps a lot. So he's precious a lot.
that's
Boom.
Wrong. Try again.
Hush your mouth.
all right. So we've got that. We have the interview with Buffy tonight, and I'm totally gonna call her Buffy, dude, because anybody can be Marie. But how many Buffys are we gonna get a chance to talk to?
I love the name Buffy.
So I'm totally calling her
Buffy.
Buffy. Yeah, and yesterday, me and Steve watched it. She went live on Facebook and was promoting herself being on Paratalk.
Cool.
And kept throwing us out, telling everybody to go
Sweet.
and like the
You mean not
podcast.
throwing us under the bus or anything?
No,
just throwing
no,
us out there.
no, ma'am.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, promoting us and
Perfect.
telling all of her followers to give us a like on Facebook and to follow
Awesome.
the podcast. Gave all the platforms that we're on.
That's awesome.
And-
We appreciate that.
Yeah, and I was going to, this week, I was doing a little research.
What? You took my job. You
Well,
took my job.
no, this was
You took her job.
It took her dur. It took her dur. Dicky dur. But no, I was doing a little podcast research, and I just want to welcome all of our new listeners because we have a lot, y'all.
That's awesome.
lot.
We appreciate
So,
it.
I just want to give a quick
What's
shout
a
out.
lot?
Like a lot?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you. We're going to give a quick shout out to the United Kingdom, to Singapore,
What's up over the pond?
Yay.
to Singapore, Nicaragua, Australia, Sweden, India, Canada, Ireland, Germany, Hong Kong, Netherlands, Norway, New Zealand, and South Africa.
Yay.
Thank you guys
Thank you.
so much.
I would like to go to each and every one of those locations.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone in Ireland, if you want to just buy me a plane ticket and send me over there to vacation.
And
or you can just keep her.
Hey,
dude, that's my
You'll-
wife, dude. That's my wife.
you'd miss me.
Yes, I would.
But to our any of our new
Oh,
listeners
absolutely.
all over the
That's
world.
awesome.
If you guys have stories
Oh my gosh, yes.
that pertain to hauntings that are going on in your country, hit us up. We will totally interview you guys and get you guys on here
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to hear some tales from some Irish castles.
And I would love to hear your accents.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally would.
Because I don't have an accent.
I wonder if there's any haunted tales about the shrimp on the bobby.
Oh, there may be. There may be. Yeah. The curse of the dead kangaroo.
That would be sad.
That would be sad. But what was I going to say? I had one of those brain farts again.
Oh, crap.
Ow! Oh, you getting the fart needles again, Dad? Never mind what I'm getting.
That's right. But yeah, so we thank you guys all for tuning in, downloading, and listening to our podcast. We really appreciate it. We hope we keep you guys entertained. We try to have a good time and, get messages out there about stuff in the paranormal that you guys may not know about, or you want to learn about, or stories you just want to hear about. And
like you said, just get a different perspective.
Yeah. I mean, that's why in the next few weeks, we have a guest lined up every week for like the next 6 weeks.
And we're so excited.
Yeah.
We love having guests.
Oh, it makes it so interesting. I love...
Don't get me wrong. We have a blast by ourselves.
Oh, yeah. We do.
But having a guest on, I mean, that is just so much fun to hear what they have to say and hear their stories. And,
And the other night, we did our Facebook Live, and we were telling everybody about our residential investigation we had last night. Just an update on the residential investigation last night. We think things went very well.
Yes.
We don't think that it's as bad as what we were thinking it was. We went in and we did our thing, and when we left, the family seemed a whole lot more at ease.
Yeah.
So that's my main goal.
And we definitely will be reaching out.
Oh, yeah.
And we're always, once we do a residential, that's not it.
Right.
We are constantly available to that family, and we go out until it's done.
Yep. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get Buffy on the line, and we'll be back. And hold on, you may hear something, possibly or not. Hold on.
He's such a tease.
Here we go.
Hey, this is Steve with Paratalk. Do you have a story to share? Call us at 865-264-0448 to explain your paranormal experience. Do you have a chilling story you'd like to share? Or just give us a topic you'd enjoy us to discuss? We understand some of you would like to keep anonymous, so the choice is yours if you want to share your name. So call 865-264-0448 now to have your story heard on the next episode of Paratalk.
All right, we are back. Welcome to Paratalk.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
All right, and we have on the line Miss Buffy Russell. How are you, Buffy?
How are you?
Doing great.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get what I do out there for everybody in the paranormal world.
Hey, we so appreciate it. I mean, we've been investigating as a team since 2009. Andrea joined the team in 2012. We're missing Jessie. She's not with us tonight. But, we value everyone's opinion in the paranormal field.
Absolutely.
I mean, we try to push the para unity 24/7. You know,
Oh, so do we.
yeah, and see, that's what's awesome, you know, and that's what's so awesome about social networking now is because you can get out there and you can reach the teams like us that, you know, want to work together and want to help each other just to get this out there. So, you know, you may be investigating something there that you guys haven't dealt with before and you need some advice on it. Social network, you know, that's why that's so cool, because you can reach out and get a little help from somebody. And, you know, we're always there to help some other teams. I know if we need help, we're going to reach out there the same exact way.
Absolutely.
And we have.
Totally have.
Right.
Yeah.
We do the same thing within the tri-state area
Mhm.
in the Mid-Atlantic. We have connections with groups in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland. I have connections with a paranormal team in Virginia, and they'll contact us or we'll contact them with maybe something we have not dealt with or are uncomfortable dealing with, so
Mhm.
we don't have enough knowledge.
Right.
And we know somebody from one of the other groups who does. So
That's awesome.
where we get our help from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you, my lady, are a medium.
Yeah.
And you have had this gift how long?
41 years.
Wow.
Yeah. She, like,
Yeah.
earlier while you were gone, Andrea, Steve and I, we Skyped Buffy to, you know, just let her know, hey, as soon as my wife gets home, you know, we'll get on the podcast and we'll get in touch with you.
Yeah,
And
so
we-
this is like all new information for
Yeah.
me. I'm all like, ooh, this is good.
And she told us that, and I was like, holy shit. Wow, that's a
31
long time.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I say 41 because my first recollection was at the age of 4.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
But I don't know. That was my earliest recollection, so.
Wow.
well, so you and I are the same age.
Yes.
Yes, we are. You were born in 73.
Yes.
Me too.
Well.
How funny. Yeah, I was born.
Oh, my.
I was born July 10th, 1973.
I'm a little bit older than you. I was born March 18th.
How cool.
Wow.
How cool.
When you guys went to Hell's Dam Bar, or Hell's Bar Dam,
That Hell's.
I saw your YouTube. I
Mhm.
was like, gosh, they didn't invite me. That would have been the greatest birthday gift ever.
Well, we are going back, and you're more than welcome to come and join us.
We'd love to have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we're actually we're holding an event there July 21st. And
Okay.
if you could make it down to Little Tennessee and want to hang out with us, you are more than welcome. The offer is out there. So
I will certainly try.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
this play, I mean, I'm sure you've seen Hell's Bar Dam on like the shows on TV. The shows on TV, let me just tell you, do not give it justice.
Not at all.
This is the most haunted location I think I've ever been in my life.
That's on my bucket list
Yeah.
because I saw it on one of the paranormal shows. I think it was Zach Bagans who did it.
Yeah, the Ghost Adventures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they had the tornado come through.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that place, it's amazing. I mean, you know, we've done Waverly Hills. Steve's done it 6 times. I've done it 5. We've done the Stomsville Rectory. We've done the Morse Mill Motel. We've done Old South Pittsburgh a few times. We've done the Old Fayetteville Hospital. We've done, you know, Brushy Mountain Prison. And this place is crazy active.
Well, dang.
Yeah.
Gall dang.
Dang, you know?
But yeah,
Ours
so
is mostly residential. So.
yeah, see, well, we do a lot of residentials. Like these bigger places, this is it's
Kind of our treat.
That's our treat to ourselves for being good
Right.
little paranormal investigators and helping families. You know, we treat ourselves
Yeah.
to the bigger locations.
We do
the
several
only-
residentials,
I ever
though.
did was we have a place out here called Rockwood Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and it opens its doors, I guess, around Halloween time to like ghost tours.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend of mine egg me on and want me to go. Thanks, Meredith. She's going to be listening. And she wanted me to go, because we helped her out as a group.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, and let's just say, I usually can hold back myself from ghosts and from spirit. I did until a point where a slave slapped me on the ass
Wow.
Whoa.
in the tunnel, and I went, "Oh no! You have followed me all night. I told you you could not touch me. You crossed the line. I'm done. I'm done."
See, that's where we're different. I'd have said, do it again.
I didn't feel that. Can you do that again?
I'm done. And we actually walked up, and one of the tour guides heard the commotion, and then of course she gave me out. So we had a little meeting in their office, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I started channeling the spirits that were there,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
man.
it went on for like an hour.
Oh,
Wow.
my gosh.
The
Wow.
director was like, "Oh my God!"
They're like, hold it. Well, what's up with all this? We didn't realize there was that many.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
They didn't expect that, so
So, okay.
unfortunately.
So, 4 years old, you had your 1st
Uh-huh.
experience. So,
Yes.
do you remember, like, now anything about that? Go ahead.
I remember the whole thing.
Would you explain that to us?
I was staying at my grandmother's house. We lived here at my grandmother's house or I'm in her house right now. We lived in her house for quite a while with my mom, and my mom worked night shift as a nurse, so Grandma would take care of me. Now, Grandma is a Neapolitan. She's from Italy.
Oh.
She was not born in Italy. She was born in New Haven, Connecticut. Her mother and father came here. So I remember playing in the living room, and she was doing the dishes or doing something, and I saw a gentleman sitting in a chair that we had, a very old chair that's no longer with us. And he was talking to me and smiling at me in a language that I could not understand. And my grandmother turned around and said, "Who are you talking to?" And I said, "The man." And she said, "What man?" And I said, "The man sitting in the chair." She goes, "Don't be crazy. There's no man sitting in a chair. What are you talking about?" I said, "There's a man sitting in the chair." She said, "Well, what does he look like?" And I said, "He's really, really tall, and he's thin, and he's got gray hair, and he's smoking a cigar. And he keeps telling me to tell you something." And I didn't know what it was because I couldn't speak the language at the time. And she said, "Oh, yeah, if that's real, what is he saying?" And I said, "He told me to tell you, Florenza, chiamo mio piccolo angelo." And she literally stopped in her tracks, turned white as a sheet, and she said, "Tell me what the man is wearing." And I said, "He's wearing a white shirt, and he's got a black suit on, and he's got a purple tie on. And on the tie, there's this little jewel." And I said, "It's a sapphire. And he's got really big feet. And he's got a cut on like his eyebrow doesn't finish." And she stopped and she started crying, and she said, "That's my father."
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
It was my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather died in 1956.
Oh,
I was born
my
in
gosh.
73.
Wow.
And she said that at night when he tucked her into bed, he would say, "Florenza, chiamo mio piccolo angelo," which in Italian means her name was Florence.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "Florence, I love you, my little angel."
Oh.
Wow.
So
that gave
from
me
that
chills.
point on, it was not spoken of you know, she kind of, I understood, I guess, on that same level that she believed me, but we didn't speak of it in the house.
Wow.
Because Italians are very superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
And she was grown up Roman Catholic, so.
yeah. See, my dad's mom, she's Sicilian, or was Sicilian before.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Good mean one.
Yeah. 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 But
Yeah.
okay, so after that, I mean, that had to, you know, as you got older, you know, and you realized what was actually happening, you know.
When did you actually realize what was happening? What did you realize at that point? Oh my gosh, I can
I see dead
communicate
people.
with dead people, or
I see dead people. I don't think I really grasped the concept probably until I was about 10.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very difficult time in school because I would see these things. And I would get told I was crazy, you're creepy, you're weird, you're nuts, you need to be on medication, you need to be locked up because, you know, you're seeing things that aren't really there. Are you on drugs?
wow.
And I could not get them to understand that I saw and heard things.
So at any point were you just like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything to anybody, I'm just going to like keep it to myself? Did you kind of shut down at that point to letting people know?
That's the age of 10, same age, because at that point I completely shut down. I mean, I didn't associate with a lot of people, with friends. I stayed mainly in my room because I was afraid to say something because maybe I really was crazy.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Oh.
You know?
That's sad.
The worst part of it is I'm a physical medium. And I don't know if everybody knows what a physical medium is.
Well, for our people listening, why don't you explain the difference?
I don't know if everybody has seen the show Dead Files.
Yes.
Seen Amy Allen.
Oh, she's our favorite.
I'm a physical medium like her, which means that for me, when a spirit comes to me and tries to tell me that they want something from me or that they need help or they're trying to get a message across, as they get closer to me, I literally feel how they died.
Oh my gosh.
So a gunshot victim, I will feel like I got shot. Heart attack patient, I will feel like I've had a heart attack. Stroke, I'll get a really bad headache. Brain tumors, lung problems. I feel like I can't breathe.
That sounds exhausting.
That does sound exhausting.
It is exhausting. It's very exhausting. I can tell you that it takes probably about a day or two after each investigation, especially if there's been a murder involved, that I need to recuperate because I'm physically drained. The worst part of that is I don't know if I'm physically having a heart attack, if it's me, or if it's them.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, is this it really me?
That would scare the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I literally have to tell them to back up.
So how do you prepare yourself to go into an investigation? Is there special steps that you take to get yourself ready?
I do. I fast for about a week, which means I don't eat a lot. I just eat enough to sustain myself. I will meditate every day, sometimes up to an hour every day, and I will get myself in that zone. I will also tell Spirit when I know about the investigation, or they hand me an investigation or hand me pictures, and I'll get a read off of it. I'll then tell them, I draw the line in the sand. You are not allowed to touch me physically. You are not allowed to talk to me from this time to this time because from this time to this time, I have a job.
Right.
Period.
Wow.
I will let you know when I am ready to speak to you. That's the biggest thing that I have to do and that works for me. It may not work for every medium or every psychic, cleric, whatever. I have to set boundaries.
Well, that's
and I have
kind
to be
of
very firm.
that's what we tell our residentials. We go in and we say you need to set boundaries.
Yeah.
If you are comfortable having them around, but you don't want them to be a certain way or act a certain way or whatever, set your boundaries.
Yeah, you have to assert yourself. Like we had a residential investigation last night, and the family, they were terrified when we got there, and I think now, after we came in, we did our thing, and we set them down and we talked to them, and let them know, because she was before it wasn't, it didn't seem violent or malicious at any time. And said now it's just, she goes, I have a different feeling about it and all this. I was like, it's your house, you have to set those rules. I mean, if you're fine with it being there, tell it, hey, this is our place from, we're gone from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. If you want to run around the house and scream and yell and do your thing and just vent, do it then. When we're home and we bring our kids home, you're not to scare the shit out of our kids for any reason.
Oh yeah.
And
it is. It's very important for paranormal investigators to tell the residents that assert yourself. This is your house.
Mm-hmm.
They are no longer living.
Yep.
You've moved into this house. This is yours. I also ground myself. I'm Wiccan, so I do grounding through earth walking. I ground myself in my house, and I close myself off, and I have to do that every day because if I don't, I can get attacked, or I can have random spirits
be like an open door
and go, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Right.
And you're like, whoa, no, not now.
It's every day. I mean, I could walk down the street and see 6 spirits just walking down the street.
Now, when you see the spirits, can you distinguish? I mean, now this is just one of those random questions. Can you distinguish between a spirit and a live being? Is there a different look to them?
Do you see like an aura around them, or how do you see them?
I get an aura around them. There's a different energy wave that I get from them.
Are they usually in their death state when you see them?
The funny thing with me is that they, and I don't know if it's for every medium, of course I'm only speaking for myself, but they can present themselves to me in any which way they choose.
That's interesting.
So
Very
if,
interesting.
say, somebody who drowned, can show up in a 3-piece business suit,
Mm-hmm.
But I know he's drowned because I smell it.
Wow.
They smell like musk, and they smell like dank swamp water.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that's how I can tell.
I mean, do you ever catch yourself, like, if you do come across something like that, just by chance? I mean, you said that sometimes they just smell. Do you ever catch yourself, like, kind of gagging? Like,
Yes.
just randomly, like, oh, gosh.
Yeah, I do that a lot when we are dealing with demonic cases.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
When we get cases, the director of our group, or the leader of our group, Jeff Brown, he will send me as little as possible about the case because that's the way I prefer it.
Right.
Because I don't want to be jaded. I don't want to be biased. I don't want the client to say, well, they told you X, Y, Z.
Right.
I want them to see it for themselves. So I will get pictures, or I'll get just a a little snippet of where we're going, or this family has X, Y, Z,
Right.
going on. But as soon as I open up pictures, as soon as I open up the email and read it, I'll start getting nauseous,
Really?
and I'll get hot, and I'll start gagging.
Wow.
Wow.
And then that's when I know we have demons. And sometimes at night, if I'm not careful, in dream state, they'll show up.
Okay, that's scary.
Now, part of the fasting,
know.
is that so you don't get physically ill on an investigation? So your stomach's not, I know it sounds kind of gross, but so
Don't
you
get
have
sick.
don't have a full stomach to vomit.
Sometimes I do that when I know the case is going to be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we discuss before we call the client for a conference call, and I'll just talk to the guys and go, look, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be fugly.
Mm.
It ain't ugly, it's fugly. And it's gonna
We've
get
dealt with
that way.
fugly before. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just warn them to prepare themselves. Bless yourselves, say your prayers, do whatever you need to do, and make sure that you pray and you do whatever you need to do, because we're going to be going into battle, and it's going to get ugly.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we've done that on a couple cases that we've had so far.
So, okay, I have a question.
Sure.
I've heard several mediums say that, everybody has that psychic sense. You just have to, train yourself and tune into that side. Do you believe it's like that? Or do you believe it's just, because me personally, I'm Christian. I believe that God picks who he wants to have these abilities. I don't think he's going to throw it out there to just anybody and everybody to be
Everybody
able.
just used it all willy-nilly.
Yeah. Because we've seen things when we've been investigating. We've seen apparitions. We've seen shadow people. We've seen this and we've seen that.
Right.
And we've taken people with us, and them looking, me and Steve can be standing there looking at this thing, and we point it out to someone and them not be able to see it. And they're like, why aren't I seeing it? Just my faith, the way I believe, I think that, God's going to let us see that because he knows mentally we can handle seeing that. Where the guy next to me, who knows what the hell it's going to do to him if he sees it.
Right.
He could have a heart attack.
He could have a heart attack and fucking die right there, And so, I want your opinion on that. Do you think anybody can be trained to be a medium or a psychic?
I do not think that anybody can be trained to be a medium. You have to be given gifts to do that. There's no courses you can take.
Exactly.
There's no amount of meditating that you can do, or leveling yourself higher by going to a swami,
Right.
or whatever. I do, however, think that each and every one of us is born with intuition.
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of intuition.
Yeah. 100%
It's like when-
agree.
Well,
Or the
the
normal-
gut feeling.
Yeah.
Right. When that normal person walks into a room and the hair stands up on the back of their neck,
Mm-hmm.
or they get that feeling like something's not right.
Yep.
That's their sign to
I
run.
that is that, to run. Yeah, but I think everybody has that ability. They have that gut instinct, or they have that innate intuition. And when I coach or counsel young kids that we find out have gifts,
Mm-hmm.
my first thing for them to do is to tell them to trust their gut.
Right.
Trust your gut. Your gut will never, ever lead you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times has
It's
your gut
something.
led you somewhere and you're like, I don't believe that. And you go the other way and you're like, well, crap.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Trust your gut.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been in the presence of some people who say that, they're a medium. I have friends of mine who say, well, I went to a medium and paid $50, and they grabbed my hand and said X, Y, Z, or I'm going to become pregnant with triplets, and da da da, and it's like,
Holy
first of
shit!
all-
I saw that same medium, and she told me I was pregnant. I'm not. I'm not though. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not.
Well, that's
First
good.
of all, you paid them. That's number one. You paid them.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and you handed the money up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? How do you know? Of course, with me, how do they know when I speak? Unless, you know, I hit on a lot of things. That what they're saying is true. And I first go in when they meet me for the first time, and my first comment is, I don't claim to be 100% right 100% of the time.
Right.
Right.
Spirit can be showing me something, and maybe I'm not interpreting it right,
Right.
or they're all the way off in left field talking about their great grandma that they saw on their deathbed or something.
Right.
You know, and it doesn't have anything to do with the case. So I don't ever claim to be right, and I don't charge people.
See, and I
You
so
know,
respect
I've
that.
done-
Absolutely.
Right, and I've done parties for friends just to goof off and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they've insisted that I've taken money, and I'm like, okay, fine, here.
Right.
But I wind up giving it back to them anyway, or I wind up, you know, buying
Like-
them drinks and
Right.
Gas
giving
money.
it back
Yeah.
in some way. But I believe that if you're given a gift from God, from Spirit, from Buddha, from Shiva, wherever,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they've given you that gift for a purpose,
Mhm.
and that purpose is to share it,
Mm-hmm.
and share it
absolutely.
willingly with everybody. You
I
know,
agree 100%. I mean, that's just like, you know, we see things on Facebook and stuff. You know, there are certain paranormal groups that charge to go do residential investigations. And I guess that's all fine and dandy for them, but that turns my freaking stomach when I see a group charge to go in and help a family.
They're not helping.
No.
it does.
Yeah.
It's because they're literally raping them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Taking
Yeah,
advantage
absolutely.
Of a family.
Kick them while they're down.
Right, and especially, well, now at times they're tough, but in any aspect, I mean, these people are calling you because they're fed up,
Mm-hmm.
they're tired, they feel like they're going nuts,
And they're scared.
they're at their wits' end, and they're scared.
Yeah.
So naturally, they're going to, if you claim, yes, we're going to get rid of it, yes, you know, we're going to take it out of here. Your family's going to be perfect. It's going to be
Yeah.
like Leave It to Beaver when we leave here.
Yeah.
You know, of course you're going to give them that money.
Yeah.
And then most of the time, it's either gone for a day or two, or not gone at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when we get called.
Mm-hmm.
Because that spirit just
So-
got pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they pissed it off and, you know, antagonized it, and then they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And the family is left to deal with a pissed off spirit
Yeah.
that's angrier than when they got there,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and now they have nowhere else to turn.
I'm going to be straight up 110% honest with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have never worked with a medium before, ever. Honestly, I've never had any desire to work with a medium before.
Right.
And because, you know, it's like you said, you know, you can go to you can sit down with a medium who's a tarot card reader, and, you know, $50. I can see that in the near future you're going to get screwed. Yeah, you got screwed right there when you handed that $50 over.
Right there, when you
Yeah.
handed me that $50.
And,
You know?
But, you know, honestly, and I think Stephen and I'm sitting here looking at them right now, I think they would agree, you know, if we were to come in contact with a medium like Buffy, I would be totally down to investigate with a medium.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it would be exciting. I mean,
It's something we've never done, and
With
it,
me.
Excuse me?
it's so much fun with me. I'm so weird.
Well,
You know?
You fit right in with that.
you totally would.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Oh my.
I mean, that's like, when we were talking to her earlier, she's like, she goes, I'm the strange one, I'm the weird one, because I see dead people. And I was like, but does that make you weird or strange or crazy?
Or
because
are you the norm?
No, wait, listen, because you see dead people and talk to them. We don't see shit, and we sit in these dark ass rooms and talk to darkness and try to get a response on the recorder or whatever.
We're guessing.
Yeah. So I mean,
Right.
who's the crazy one there? So, but I mean, we love what we do. We love that.
Well, I love what I do. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm trying to help a family who's
Exactly.
with their wits end and find the joy that
Answers.
they lost in their house,
Mhm.
or find peace.
So-
Or a lot of the times it's me finding peace for the entities
Right.
Yeah.
because they don't
Yeah.
want to be here.
No, they want to
They
move
don't
on.
understand why they. So
I
So-
think
Yeah.
that's a good point. I mean, for us, we usually are,
More focused on the family.
yeah, we're looking
Yeah.
at the human aspect of it,
Mhm.
and on your end, you deal more on the spirit end of it. So that's
Which-
pretty neat.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, when we do our investigations, I mean, if it's something that, because
If we
most
feel
of the
that
time,
it is,
most of the time when we do, especially residential investigations, it's a 2 or 3 tripper. We go in, we perform the initial investigation, we find, see what kind of answers we can get, what kind of responses we can get, and
Right.
see what we need to build that next investigation on, and if we get
Right.
evidence that, supports, something that we could do, we could go in and, sit down and have that human to spirit talk, and say, if there's any message that you need to get out so you can move on and you can find peace and you can find that rest that you need, say it now.
Yeah.
And we will get that message to whoever you need us to get it to. Tell us who you need us to get it to. I mean,
right, and
you know,
a lot of the times it's them. They don't understand why they're here.
mhm.
They don't mean to scare anybody.
Right.
Some of them. Now you get the
Right.
ones that are a little, out there, kind of thing, and they just want to wreak havoc, or they think it's fun,
Mhm.
Or
So, playing kind of off of that. Now, I think this was actually brought up last night. That do you think that the state of a spirit coincides with the state of their life?
Like if they were a good person during life, they're a good person in spirit. If they were a jackass while they were alive, they're that same asshole after they pass.
it really depends with me. The people that I only find, or the spirit that I only find extremely bitter, are people who were born bad seeds.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Those who were born bitter, they walked through life bitter. They treated everybody like crap,
Right.
and they were just in it for themselves. Those tend to stay bitter,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
even in death.
I mean, that
They're-
makes sense
they're
to
bitter
me.
people.
That makes sense to me that
Yeah.
if they were crappy in life, they'd be crappy in death.
Right.
Right. And you have to understand with them, 5 years in our physical form, 5 years on this plane of existence, can be 5 seconds to them.
That's
Right.
true.
It's true.
They don't know time. They don't know space. They don't know those things. It doesn't exist to them.
Mm-hmm.
They just see you,
Mhm.
and then you'll get into a residual spirit who isn't bothering anybody, who's just doing the same thing, like a broken record,
Right.
over and over again. It's walking from the hallway to the living room
Mhm.
constantly. That's all it does. It's because it doesn't know it's there, and it doesn't see you. It doesn't hear you. You don't
Kinda-
exist to that.
Kind of reminds
Spirit.
me of what
So
what
it's
was
just
it?
gonna-
10 Second Tom from 50 First Dates. It was like after 10 seconds,
Yeah.
you know, memory replayed.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds, memory replay, you know.
Yeah. But,
Yeah. And then they don't know what it is. And I'll go in there and I'll say, oh, that's nothing. That's a residual spirit.
right.
But I'll get rid of it for you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I also get rid of the entities. I take them back where they belong. I find peace for them. And I do that in a ritualistic way. At the end or at the beginning, whatever we decide. I close portals. I close vortexes.
Wow.
I bless houses. I reverse curses, get rid of hexes on people.
Wow.
Things of that
You're like a
nature.
jack of all trades.
No, she's a medium. She's a Buffy of all trades.
I'm a medium, but I'm also a witch.
Okay.
So, a Wiccan witch.
Mhm.
Break it down in terms that everybody else understands. Witch.
Right.
Witch, many years ago, many eons ago, was considered a derogatory term.
Mm-hmm.
But we've kind of like adapted it now because it's just so commonly used anymore.
Right.
But
You know, those fancy
I
terms
practice my
Wiccan
faith.
people just don't understand.
yeah, they don't understand. Or they hear the word Wiccan or they hear the word pagan, and right away it's like, oh, you dance with the devil and naked around a fire. Ah, you're giving your firstborn child to the devil. You drink blood at night and you hang around. And you hang around with satanic people. No. In fact, there is no Satan in our religion.
Right.
We don't believe in a devil.
Mm.
We believe that there is good and evil in everybody, like yin and yang.
Right.
It's your choice to make that, make that either a good life or a bad life.
Mm-hmm.
We do believe in unholy things, though, which is demons,
Right.
which are not of this plane of existence.
Right. Yeah.
We're an earthbound, spiritual, religious belief.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in the trees. We're tree huggers. Basically, we're tree huggers.
Yeah.
We like everybody.
You guys are hippies.
Yeah, we're hippies, basically. You may see me chained to a redwood tree in California somewhere someday on the news. It's like, oh, save the tree!
Holy crap, that's that
So-
chick we interviewed. Oh my God.
Oh, there she is.
She literally hugs trees.
Yes. So, and I deal with my weirdness. That's how I go along with my weirdness. And when I found the Spirit of the Lord, which was by happenstance, and I got asked to join the team, I finally found my home. It's like exactly what I've been searching for my entire life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That I can fit in a place that I can use my gifts and help
Not be
people.
ashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I love weird. It's just me anymore.
Different is good.
That's exactly right. That's,
Yeah. Well, and my weirdness is generational. My father, he could see spirits. He was Wiccan as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was really big into Copernicus. He used to teach me about Copernicus all the time, and I had no idea why. But that was his shtick.
Mm-hmm.
We would go outside and learn about the earth and all kinds of plants and animals and trees.
At what age did you know? I mean, was your dad open about his gift?
Not really until I was about high school age.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad are divorced, so they divorced when I was 2. So I lived in a very Roman Catholic house.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we would go to church every Sunday. And from the first time that I can remember, I never felt like I fit in.
Right.
Like, I would go through the motions of saying the prayers and doing the Roman Catholic aerobics. Sit,
Right.
stand, kneel, sit, stand, kneel. Right. Check yourself.
Look, you
Okay.
experienced that last week, didn't you, Andrew?
I did. I went to my first Catholic funeral, and that was very interesting to me because I felt like I got the greatest workout ever.
Yeah, it's like
It is like
aerobics.
it's aerobics.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I grew up Roman Catholic myself, so
So you understand.
absolutely.
And you get the snack in between.
Yeah, yeah.
You get the communion
Some
in
stale bread.
between. Snack. Oh, the stale bread, yay. And I grew up with hippies. My mom and dad were hippies. So they were very much about, the free spirit, making sure that I grew up a very strong, independent woman. And I got to the age where I finally decided that this isn't right for me. I'm cool with Jesus. I'm cool with, learning about the saints and everything. And I've read all the Bible and I've read all the stories. But for some reason, I just feel like I'm dead inside. I feel like I'm going through the motions and I'm not getting anything out of it. So then I guess it was, my mom was like, okay, whatever. Whatever makes you happy, you have to find what completes you.
Right.
And I've used that with my children.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 22-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old daughter who's sitting right next to me right now. But I raised them to be a very independent woman.
Now,
With thought and the ability to make their own decision. I can't fulfill their spiritual wholeness. So I wanted them to go and do what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my oldest, who's 22, is still very much Roman Catholic.
Right.
He goes to church, and that does not bother me at all.
Right.
I don't have anything against any religion. I'm an occult specialist.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have anything wrong with any religion. And then my 17-year-old daughter, I raised her Roman Catholic, but then she was like, this isn't quite for me.
Mm-hmm.
So then she decided that she wanted to try Wiccanism and being pagan, and she found her groove. This is what's cool to her,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, sweet, whatever.
Right.
So I'm trying to teach her as much as possible.
So when did you start studying all the occult stuff?
From as long as I can remember, I was always interested in other religions, and probably around high school age, maybe 13.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to the library,
Mm-hmm.
which is right up the street from where I live, and I would just sit there and delve into books of different religious beliefs.
Right.
And find it very interesting to learn how they felt about the universe, and if they believed in one God, or if they believed in, duality or deities or whatever they believed in. I mean, in my house right now, I have a Bible, I have a Quran,
wow.
I have a
She's
Jewish Bible.
multifaceted.
Yes.
Yep, I have a stack full of, Buddhist scripture, Taoism, Sikh. I try and go to the library and read up as much as possible so that I am knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
I also have satanic books in my house
Mm-hmm.
that deal with satanic worship, any kind of religion that you could possibly think of, Wiccan, Druidism, all of them. So, and I read as much as possible.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
you're applying everything you have in you to what you have to face when you go and do this stuff. So
Exactly. And if I have to help with demon, getting rid of a demon like an exorcism, or if I have to get rid of spirit that is not Roman Catholic, or if I have to get rid of a hex or a curse. My biggest belief is that whatever brought it must return it.
Right.
So if someone used voodoo on you, you can't get rid of it with some Catholic prayers.
Right.
You can't get rid of it speaking Yiddish. Not
Right.
going to help. That's when I have to get down and dirty.
Right.
And I have to bring out, my snakes and my rum and my cigars and my gree-grees and get down with it and get rid of it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I speak 7 different languages. So that helps a lot, too.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
We can barely
We
speak
did-
one.
We did,
I know.
yeah.
I speak
We did one
redneck.
case. That's okay. I love rednecks too. But we did a case most recently where I don't know if you're familiar with how Delaware was formed. We were founded by Swedish.
Okay.
Lord Delaware was Swedish. And a lot of the people that first colonized here spoke Swedish.
Interesting.
So we had a quant in a house in Hokesten, which is not far from here, with a Swedish family. It was the whole family was there.
Huh.
And I had to help them because they didn't speak English. If you want to try to contact the entity, you're not in they speak Swedish. You can't speak English to them because they don't understand.
Right.
So I helped bring them over to the other side where they belong. They want it out anyway.
Wow.
They died a horrific death. They died in a fire.
Oh.
That's terrible.
So very terrible. You smelled burnt the minute you walked into the house.
Oh.
And when I first got the case over the internet, over my email, I first texted Jeff and Yvonne and said, "Who got burnt to death?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "The minute I opened up the email, I smelled smoke. Like, and I'm not talking like, I'm talking campfire, like house burning.
Wow.
And I hear
Wow.
people screaming,
Oh.
and I can't get cold. I'm hot, and I feel burnt. So, and then we found out that there was a fire in the house.
Wow.
That happened, and originally that house that was standing was no longer. They died in a house fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and see, like where my mom's house is, there was originally a house there that burnt down in the 1930s, and it was, I don't know where the man of the house was, but his wife,
Right.
and their 17-year-old daughter and their 17-year-old daughter's 4-year-old son burned up in the house and died. And we've investigated my mom's house, and we've got EVPs of the little kid calling for his mom. We've got the mom talking, and I came face to face, and so did Steve, came face to face with the 17-year-old. I mean, mine was just it wasn't even during an investigation. I went to my mom's house, and I went to her master bathroom, and I'm standing there taking a leak, and this girl walks by me. If I wasn't, if I wouldn't have been pissing, I'd have pissed all over myself right then. I mean, because it was totally unexpected, I mean, she just walked right by me. And then while we were investigating once, Steve, he was in my mom's room, and he was sitting on the corner of the bed, and he kept hearing, this noise. It'd come from one side of the room, then the other side of the room, and he'd get up and he'd walk to that side, and then he would hear it on the other side. He would walk to that side, and he starts to go into the bathroom where he hears something like fall in the shower. He goes to, as soon as he goes around the corner of the door, he came face to face with her. I was watching him on the DVR outside, and I see him jump, and he fell over an elliptical, and
Scared the hell out of me.
But yeah, and
my.
he came out and he's like, "I saw you fucking girl," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "She was right there in my face," you know. Like, oh my
That
god,
was so cool, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That was the greatest, scariest thing ever.
See, with me, it would have been different. I would have been, in the bathroom taking a leak, and I would have looked up and went, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Give me a minute.
I'm alive," and like you're not.
Yeah.
And
This is my
I'm,
time.
Like, half naked.
Yeah.
So can you leave for a second?
Yeah.
Occupado.
I'll flush for you.
Yeah.
You can have the bathroom all you want after, but I'm in here. Can I have some privacy, please?
Yeah. See, like when I saw her, I mean, she didn't acknowledge me, nothing. I mean, she just walked right by, and I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, it freaked me out, I mean, because you're standing there taking a leak, you're not expecting anything like that, and then just all of a sudden this chick comes walking through the bathroom, and you're like, oh shit,
Right.
no, But
Kind of like the whole rock thing that I saw at the dam.
yeah,
Where it was like, oh, hell no.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
But,
No.
Okay,
no.
so to date, right now, what is since you've been with this team that you're with now, what is your most memorable case?
My most memorable case would have to be, I think there were two of them. One of them where we were in Pennsylvania. It was I can't say it was my first case. It was one of my couple of first cases that I did with Spirit of the Sword. And we were dealing with a demon who was going in and out of a little girl. And the little girl was, I think, about 7 years old. She had not been baptized. The mother had gifts that I recognized right away as soon as I walked in the door. I was like, oh, heck no. You have to calm down first.
Right.
You have to, take that beacon down a bit, honey, because I'm getting static from you. You just got to calm down, take a drink, smoke a doobie, do whatever you got to do. Take a walk, do something, but you're blocking me because you're so loud. So she did. Everybody calmed down, and we went downstairs to the basement where the demon was, where I felt it was, and Yvonne felt that it was. So she started downstairs with her exorcism. We opened up her Bible, did her prayers, started with the holy water and the salt, and she had her shawl on. And it immediately, we had it cornered, and it immediately jumped. And it jumped towards the door going up the steps, and the little girl was upstairs. And I knew exactly what it was going to do. It was going to jump in that little girl.
Oh.
And there was no way that a 7-year-old can survive an exorcism. They're too little,
Right.
to have to go through something that could last for days, could last for a couple hours. And I literally said, I've had enough with you. He jumped and got about 2 inches from my face and literally licked my face.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And
snap.
he was nasty looking, and I said, I told you you had no permission to touch me. You have now crossed the line. And I'll be damned if you're going to jump in that little 7-year-old girl. Because you know what? She's not strong enough. Is that why? Because you're chicken, right? Because you prey on the weak.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. I said, well, how about dealing with me? And I literally stepped in front of it and was possessed for about an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't remember much of it, although the team says that it was quite an appearance.
Wow.
We caught on tape me speaking in Aramaic, speaking in Latin. Then I transitioned into something I don't even remember what it was. It was weird. It was nothing I've ever heard. Apparently, I was trying to fist fight Jim. They had sat me in a chair. I had sat at Yvonne, told her that there was no such thing as Jesus, that her Lord was a myth,
Wow.
and that he would never save her, and that I was here to rule, period.
Holy crap.
And then I told her to take her best
Jeez.
shot. I bent a crucifix, and then I remember Jim at one point. I don't know. It's kind of really weird to say how you feel, because it's like you're watching yourself do this, but you're not in control of your body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're confused, but then you're fighting with yourself mentally and spiritually, kind of thing. And I remember Jim literally bending down in front of me, holding me in the chair, and then he took his arms off of me, and he grabbed my hands, and he grabbed a crucifix, and he stared at me right in the face, and he said, "Keep fighting. Look at me. Look at me. Don't go anywhere. Come with me. Come back. I know you can." And within about maybe 5 minutes, I was exhausted. I was in a cold sweat. I was shivering. I felt nauseous. My whole body ached. And then I'm standing there with Jim, and he's holding my hand, and he's going, "Dude, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I think so." I said, "What happened?" And he said, "You just got possessed. That was not normal what you just did.
Wow.
I don't know what kind of language you were speaking. You were trying to levitate. You were trying to move this. You were grabbing me, trying to punch somebody, spitting at people, speaking in languages we don't even know." And it wasn't until we rewound the EVP and you could hear me talking in Aramaic. And I said, "Wait a minute, that's Aramaic." I said, "Rewind that." And I kept having to rewind and rewind and rewind. And I told him exactly what I said.
Wow.
Wow, that
And he
is
said,
intense.
"No." I said, "Yeah."
Wow.
That only happened one other time
Mm.
Wow.
that I was possessed. So twice now. And I'm still here.
Well, that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah, because this would have been a boring podcast without you, I'm telling you.
For real.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
No.
We really appreciate you. I mean, I'm telling you, that was just crazy intense.
Yeah, that I couldn't imagine going through that. I mean, go ahead.
It took me about a week to get over it. I slept for 2 days straight.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Let's see.
Slept for 2 days straight and wound up with bruises all over myself. So,
Wow.
and it's not for the faint of heart, but I didn't want it to hurt an innocent 7-year-old.
Mm.
So I said it was either her or me. And I had dealt with the supernatural channeling a lot, so I knew what I was in for. And I kind of did what I wasn't supposed to do. So I got yelled at after. I was like, well, it turned into a house exorcism, which really turned into a person exorcism, kind of, sort of.
Mm.
And what better person to be possessed than me?
Wow.
I didn't want anyone else to get hurt. I kind of knew what I was doing, but I'm here and I'm okay.
Mm.
So it's a dead 7-year-old. So there was no question.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And I did what I did.
See, we did. I don't know if you've heard of the Morse Mill Motel. It's in Morse Mill, Missouri. I mean, like, the history on the place is amazing. The Jesse James gang, they're on the registry, staying there. Charlie
Okay.
Chaplin used to stay there when he would visit there when it was a brothel.
Really?
Yeah. Al Capone used to run gambling out of there and run whiskey out of the basement of the place.
Oh.
And the first convicted female serial killer, Bertha Gifford, she started her killing spree inside the Morse Mill Motel. She was a cook.
Really?
Yes, she was a cook, and she would put arsenic in candies and fed it to little kids. Like when she was convicted of, I think it was 16 murders, but they linked her to up to 36. She's
Wow.
buried a quarter of a mile from the place, and like Steve, I've mentioned this place on our podcast before. Steve was addicted to this place.
Very much so.
He would go he was an overnight manager at Walgreens. He would work 7 on and 7 off. He would take his 7
Right.
off and go there by himself and investigate for a week alone.
Wow. I think that on an investigation that we were on the drive up, we were discussing that woman.
Bertha Gifford.
I want to say we were, and I'd have to get Yvonne and Jeff to clarify that, but I think that's the same person we were talking about at one point.
Yeah, she was batshit crazy, but she died.
Well, yeah, I'd be
yeah.
too if I was killed by like 36 people or something.
Yeah, she died at one of the insane asylums in Missouri, there in the St. Louis area. But Steve would go up there by himself. Well, the very last time we went up there, like they would do their ghost tours on Saturday nights or whatever, and they would end like 2 a.m. Well, the owner of the place, he called Steve and he's like, hey, the tours are ending at 2 a.m. If you guys want to jump on in there behind them, you can go ahead and set up your cameras for tomorrow night. So we're like, sweet. So we leave the hotel and we go, and we're waiting for them to get done. They get done, we go in, we start setting up cameras. Well, we go up to this room Steve was the bunk bedroom on the second floor?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we go up to this room they call the bunk bedroom. It was like a bed suspended from the ceiling with chains. And
That's not
Okay.
creepy at all.
yeah. Oh, it was really cool though. It was pretty cool. But so, and there's me, Steve, Jeff, Tim, and Cody.
Right.
We're all up there,
Okay.
and then Steve disappears, and we're like, well, we're sitting there talking, and I was like, where did Steve go? And they're like, well, he probably went outside to smoke or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, let's take a smoke break. We leave,
Right.
we go outside, and Steve wasn't out there. So Jeff goes back in and goes down to the basement area, and there's like, when you go down the steps, it opens up in this big room. There's a big fireplace to your left, and there's a doorway at the very bottom of the steps to the right, and it opens up into this
Right.
big room that had these cisterns in it from back in the day. And so Jeff goes down there and finds Steve down there. And Tim goes, and so me and Cody are sitting outside, and all of a sudden we hear this yelling and screaming coming from inside. Okay, I take off running inside. As I'm running inside, Tim's running out, and Tim's like, Jeff said for me to come get you. And so I take off down the steps, and I get about halfway down the flight of steps, and Steve crosses, and he's screaming and yelling into the room where the cisterns are. And I just come to an abrupt stop on the steps because it's not Steve's voice coming out of him.
Yeah.
And Jeff's sitting on the hearth of the fireplace. He's like, don't get near him. And I was like, I'm not freaking stupid. I'll stand right here for a minute. And so Steve's yelling and cussing and all this into this room. Well, finally I get ballsy and I walk down, and I'm standing there next to him. I'm like, bro, who are you talking to? And he's like, that mother right there, And I'm like, who?
Yeah.
He goes, he's standing right there. Can't you see him? And I was like, well, how about we leave and we let him do his thing, and then maybe he'll get done, and he'll leave, and we'll come back down here. And he's like, I'm not leaving until he leaves. He's got to get the out of here, you know. And so
Right.
about that time, Jeff comes up, and he's standing there with me, and we're like, come on, Steve, let's go outside. Let's go outside. And Steve starts gagging, and when he starts gagging, we grab him, we go up, we take him upstairs. Steve goes outside, and you know, this place is in the middle of nowhere.
I had no recollection of any of this
Yeah.
stuff while it was happening.
Yeah, and so
Welcome to the world of possession.
Right?
he walks over into the middle of the yard, and he's standing there taking a piss. And Jeff's sitting on the stoop, and I'm standing directly in front of Jeff. Tim and Cody are sitting on this rock wall that goes around the place. And
Right.
Steve goes, who's inside the building? And we're like, nobody. We're all right here. He goes, somebody just walked by that window. 2 seconds later, one of our equipment cases that weighs probably 20, 25 pounds landed directly behind Jeff, and they were on a couch 25 feet away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
it was intense. Yeah,
That's intense.
yeah. And like,
I've had a lot of things thrown at me. I've had a box of glasses thrown at me. I've had books thrown at me. Kitchenware. You name it, it got thrown at me. There was one specific time where we were in a case and we were down in the lady's basement and the lights were on and we were getting settled and Yvonne was talking to the demon and literally I turned my head. There was like a workbench, I guess, where she had stocked boxes of things to put away. And we watched it lift up and come flying at me and break behind me. And of course, we were all stunned and we were looking at each other and Yvonne's first words are, did we get that on tape?
that's the
No,
investigator.
The battery went dead. The battery went dead.
Oh.
No, the battery went dead. Well, we got it on EVP, I think.
Right.
And the woman was in hysterics. She kept saying, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm nuts. This is nuts. What? No, this is not nuts. This is what happened. This is
Right.
what happened.
Hmm.
And if you go to our website and go to our EVPs, you can hear it.
Awesome.
Wow.
And what is that website
Yeah.
for our listeners?
Yeah. Go ahead and give us.
It is
We'll give you 2
Spirit
more
of the-
minutes to
Yep.
you go through and you promote yourself, because we're coming up on an hour and a half on this podcast, and people will probably.
my goodness.
Yeah, I didn't realize it till I just looked down at the program and saw that we're almost at an hour and a half. So
It's been so good.
yeah, it's been awesome. So you take 2 minutes, you promote yourself, you give us your websites, your Facebooks, your everything, so that way everybody can go check you
Your
out.
social security number, your blood type.
give us face guards, give us books, give us everything.
Yeah.
We are called Spirit of the Sword. It is spiritofthesword.net, not Spirit of the Sword, the movie, because if you look it up, you're going to see a movie, which is, I think, a Chinese movie. But underneath it, you'll see Spirit of the Sword Resolution. And that's who we are, Spirit of the Sword Paranormal Resolution Team. We are on Facebook as Spirit of the Sword. You can look us up. Go to spiritofthesword.net, and you can actually look at our bios, see what we're about. Each team member has their own bio. You can go to see pictures. There are EVP clips that you can listen to that involve me, Yvonne, Jeff, and Jim. We are the entire team. We are a small little team. We do a lot of the tri-state area, which is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. We do some Maryland cases. We do not charge. If you want to give us a donation, that's awesome. You can give as much or as little as you want. We will accept it, and that will go towards equipment for us. So,
Okay. Do you guys do you have a YouTube or anything like that?
we do not. We do not. We were in discussion with me doing a YouTube vlog once a week to answer questions. about what we do and about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the works with that. I have to wait for a decision to see if that's something that we're going to do. I did do a blog. Unfortunately, I haven't been a good doobie because I haven't done a blog probably in about a year, but it's because I was ill for a year. I had surgery. So I will hopefully start that back up again.
Okay.
Listen to what we have to say. Check out our page. Like us on Facebook. You can ask me questions if you want after the airing of this. My email address is bmr@spiritofthesword.net. They can leave me any questions through email, and I will answer them back as soon as possible.
All right. So just to say that one more time, it's bmr at
Right.
spiritofthesword.net.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, do you guys have any events coming up? Like public events?
We have one case that will be coming up probably in the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken a little bit of a vacation because we just did probably about 6 cases back to back.
Yeah, it gets tiring.
Every weekend. And yeah, it gets tiring. And I also help out another group whenever they need help. They're called the Virginia Paranormal Research Society. It's Joel, Sage, Butch, Tiffany, Dawn, anybody that I've forgotten. They're a really good group. They handle a lot of Virginia and down south. So
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have been such a pleasure to talk to.
This has been fun.
yeah.
And very
Thank you.
intriguing.
Yeah,
Very.
You're
very intriguing.
you've answered so many questions. You're so full of information. We appreciate
She's like
that.
a book of knowledge.
She is. I'm like a book of useless knowledge.
Yes.
I know shit that people don't give a shit about. So
He ain't lying.
Knowledge. So I think we should have a match of wit.
There you go.
that would be so much fun.
Battle.
Yeah.
There you go.
The battle of the
But if you
bullshit.
guys have any questions, that's where you can reach me. You've
All right.
got my Facebook. We're friends on Facebook.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Look me up.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I just want to tell everybody, go check out Buffy. Online she is Marie. Don't tell me.
Gibbs Russell.
Gibbs Russell. I was like, what's the middle name? What's the middle one? Marie Gibbs Russell
my
on
middle
Facebook.
name, so.
All right.
Yep.
And check them out on Spirit of the Sword Paranormal on Facebook. And if you guys have any questions, rewind this and listen to it again, and you can get all the information from her. So, because I'm not going to be able to remember all that stuff, just to be honest with you, because I didn't write any of that stuff down. So
We know how to get you.
yeah, just rewind, listen to the whole podcast all over again.
It was a good one.
It was a good
And
one.
like East Tennessee Ghost Seekers.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But we are going to bow out for now from you, and we just want to say again, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
Bear
thank
Talk.
you very much.
Appreciate
And
you.
I will let you know as soon as this goes live, and you can start sharing it all you want.
Oh, well, thank you ever so much. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. You guys rock.
And
Hopefully I'll be able to go to Tennessee and hang out with you guys sometime.
yeah,
That'd be fantastic.
Forward to it.
like I said, we have our event coming up July 21st. So if you're interested, just get in touch with me, and I'll get you all the details.
All right. Thank you ever so much.
All right, and thank you.
Thanks, Buffy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys.
Wow.
That was freaking cool as hell.
That was awesome.
That was like, wow.
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's a record.
Record for us.
Yeah, it is.
I know that this is pre-recorded and all, but is anybody awake?
But, I mean, she was so full of information.
Seriously, book of
Probably
knowledge.
could have
right
went on
there.
for another hour.
Dude, I could have talked to her for another hour easy.
Yeah, I
Talking
had
to
more
her.
questions. And
He
I
could
could have
talked
talked to her. Shut up. It's getting late. I could have talked to her.
There you go.
For another
Attaboy.
hour, at least. At least.
Go on,
At
get.
least. Get on out of here.
Get on out here.
All right. So let's just take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll say goodbye to everybody. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, guys.
Word.
We'll be back. Hey, it's Steven, host of Paratalk. As most of you know, I'm also the lead investigator and tech specialist for the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. You watch the paranormal shows on TV and get a rush and want to do what they do, but you have no idea where to get all their amazing equipment? The Ghost Hunter Store. Dave Giuliano and his wife Michelle have owned and operated the Ghost Hunter Store for 18 years, providing only the best in paranormal equipment to the field for research. The Ghost Hunter Store is always the first place we look when wanting new equipment, and wanting it fast. So whether you're looking for a digital recorder or an SLS camera, or anything in between, including protection items, check the Ghost Hunter Store. Find them at theghosthunterstore.com or on Facebook at the Ghost Hunter Store. Tell them Steven and the crew from Paratalk sent you. And for a limited time, Dave has given Paratalk listeners 5% off your order. Just enter the code Paratalk5. All right, guys. So, if you hung out this long through this podcast, you know now
Special.
that your boy here got in touch with Dave. We've been talking, and Dave's going to give everybody 5% off their order at the Ghost Hunter Store. I mean, dude.
They got so much stuff.
All you got to do is enter the coupon code Paratalk5.
Yeah. When you get to the end of for your checkout, enter Paratalk5.
And it is a limited time
A limited
only.
time only. So if there's something that you're wanting, jump all over it. You know, get that piece. I mean, you may think, oh, it's only 5%. 5% is 5%. I don't care who you are. 5% matters.
Nickels a
5%,
nickel.
5
Nickels,
cents.
that's right.
Seriously.
That's a nickel off every dollar. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's an awesome deal, and we really appreciate them for doing that.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave, at the Ghost Hunter Store. Because I'd contacted him and was like, hey, dude, do you care? Because we share, you know, their logo and stuff on our website, you know, where people can just click on it and go straight to the Ghost Hunter Store. Because
Right.
we bought so much equipment from them. And
That's where I bought my very first piece when I started 12 years ago.
yeah. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, when you
It's-
go look, you're interested in buying a piece of equipment.
And they do layaway.
they do.
They do.
They do layaway.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm all about some layaway.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you get interested and you're like, okay, I want to get into this, you're gonna Google search Ghost Hunter Store. I mean, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that would be my first
Yeah.
Right.
first
Ghost
Google
hunting,
search.
Ghost hunting equipment, and it's going to pull up Ghost Hunter Store. Everybody's, that's in the field has been there, on their website, has bought stuff from there probably. So, if you guys are listening and you've made it this far, take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, Dave's just going to run it for a limited time, but he was gracious enough to let all the Paratalk listeners get 5% off an order.
Heck yeah.
So take advantage of it.
And it's not just equipment; it is protection.
Yeah, there's protection items there. There's everything. I mean, you can browse his site all day long. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Oh, they got crystals and I mean just anything.
You can
to
actually
do.
get holy water.
Holy water,
and,
anointing oils.
And
It's actually just the bottle because I've got one, but you can go get the holy water from the church.
okay.
Yeah.
But they got like the charms and
Right.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So, anything and everything in the field. I mean, he's got the 360 cameras. He's got everything. So, well,
Cool.
before we head out, go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just gonna say it's just about my bedtime.
Yeah. But before we stop that, God.
What are you doing?
What? What are you doing?
Snoring.
Come at me, bro. Come at
Dude,
I'm
come at me,
coming.
bro.
I knew that, dude.
Don't get me
I knew
started.
that
Come
would
at me,
do it.
bro.
Yeah, I knew it would.
Hey, when we were talking to Buffy there, she was talking about snakes.
Yeah.
Were they sneaky snakes?
They were sneaky.
Okay, I'm going to
sneaky
find
little
something to
slivery
throw. There's a
snakes.
battery right here I'm going to throw at you. I'm
Oh my gosh.
going to shove a battery up your nose.
But yeah, everybody go check out Spirit of the Sword Paranormal on Facebook. If you have questions, if you need, some answers, contact Buffy. I mean, then you won't find her under Buffy. You'll find her under Marie Gibbs Russell
There
on
you
Facebook.
go.
Yeah, see, and I'm not even looking at anything.
And you can ask her the same question in 7 different languages.
And she
I-
will, yeah. How impressive is that?
She even understood our redneck.
God dang.
Not everybody talks this shit, you know?
No.
But she understood this shit. So, yeah, I mean, she was awesome.
Yes.
And I so appreciate her.
We really do appreciate
Oh,
her
yeah,
being
very
on.
much. It was very knowledgeable, and I think she might have learned me something.
she learned me something. I mean, because like I said, I've never, ever even thought, I've never wanted to investigate with a medium just because I thought I'm going to be honest with you, I thought they were all BS for the most part. And
the depth of knowledge that she
oh
has.
my gosh. Yeah, I mean, because honestly, I mean, the ones I've seen have been on TV. They've been on TV, and
Well, and if she's anything
there's a
like
lot
Amy
of bullshit
Allen, oh my
on
gosh.
TV.
Is that thing they call the picture box?
That's
Yes.
just like that damn thing hanging
The
there
boob
on
tube.
the wall.
It's that boob tube.
The boob tube.
The boob tube.
Mamaw used
Seriously?
to hang her 90s from ours.
Oh shit!
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete.
And just like always, we're sorry you stuck around to the end.
For real. We are at the delirious stage.
But anyway,
Don't forget, we do have an event.
we have an event coming up July
21st.
Yes.
at the haunted Hell's Bar Dam. Everybody go and check out their Facebook page.
As
Check out our
always,
Facebook page, East Tennessee Ghost Seekers on Facebook. It's East TN Ghost Seekers on Facebook. You can find us on the interwebs at easttnghostseekers.org. On there, we have videos from investigations. We have audio. We have photos. We have a bio section. We have things you need to
Everything.
know about the paranormal. We have, and if you need to get in contact with us,
We have a
there's
contact page.
There's a contact page.
And there's a link for the Ghost Hunter store where you can now get, for a limited time, get 5% off your order at checkout. Just enter Paratalk 5.
Listen to this guy over here. Listen at him. Holy shit.
You can also find us on YouTube, on Instagram.
And from our website, you can also purchase your tickets to come investigate the Haunted Hell's Bar Dam with us in July.
Mark your
Do it.
calendars.
Do it. Just
Do it.
It'll
Just
be
do it.
fun.
Just do it. You can also follow us on Instagram at ET Ghost Seekers, and on our Facebook at East TN Ghost Seekers, and on YouTube at, come on Steve, this one's yours. You created this one. What is it? Oh, you're stumped, aren't you? Oh, you're stumped, aren't you?
Some bitch.
I don't remember it either. We'll get that one to you next week. How
We're
about
on
that?
there, though.
Yeah. Oh, look at him. He's pulling out his phone. He's going to look it up right now. It's like we have to change it up for everything. So, because you've got these other people that take our name.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's happened.
Well, ain't that some poop?
That's okay. I've had people take my logos I've created.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Jeffrey. Someone took Jeffrey and
Are
just
you
took
two?
our ETGS out. Yeah.
It's just East Tennessee Ghost Seekers, East TN Ghost Seekers.
Oh, there you go. Awesome.
That kind of pisses me off.
Oh, it did me too.
What
But
happened? I wasn't paying attention.
Jeffrey,
Somebody stole Jeffrey.
they just took the ETGS out of the center of him. Sure did.
I'll kill someone.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
And your ass is going down.
I'm going to get all redneck on them.
Oh, I done got redneck.
All right. Hey, guys, we're closing in on an hour and 40 minutes. We're at an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for sticking around.
Thank you for listening. Next week, we have another special guest, and we'll let you know who that is.
Say it ain't so.
It's so.
So.
It's so, very so.
So?
Yep. So.
So.
Awesome.
Sauce. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Goobers.
So we'll be back next week with another
Sleep.
guest. Yes, it's coming, dude. It's coming. And until then, you've been listening to Paratalk, and I'm Steven.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Andrea.
Thanks, guys.
Word.
And that's all, folks.
Hey, this is Steve with Paratalk. Do you have a story to share? Call us at 865-264-0448 to explain your paranormal experience. Do you have a chilling story you'd like to share? Or just give us a topic you'd enjoy us to discuss? We understand some of you would like to keep anonymous, so the choice is yours if you want to share your name. So call 865-264-0448 now to have your story heard on the next episode of Paratalk.
You're listening to Paratalk with East and Seacoast Seekers, a new perspective in paranormal talk radio.